Right. It's just like this to celebrate, and just popped in to raise a little protest. My first dooby in Lord alone knows how long. Probably what? Maybe a week. I've been busy working. Haven't been out. False, fake narrative of addiction and evil and harm. It's madness. It doesn't make any sense at all. Everybody knows that. Who's qualified to have a point of view, namely people who have used it, people who have looked at the legal, medical, and social implications of use of this plant from any sort of objective point of view. This is utter codswallop. I mean, this is obviously one of the most symbiotically beneficial natural plants on the earth. Very obviously been part of our culture and history across the planet for eons, going back into the mists of time. So, prohibition, what is it? It's an assault, it's a state violence on personal sovereignty. And I celebrate the fact that here in Cape Town, our High Court of South Africa, by unanimous ruling of their High Court bench, on the 31st of March last year, 2017, they ruled that private adult use and cultivation of this plant is a private human rights issue. And any law that usurps that private domain is a constitutional violation, and rightly so. And I celebrate this. I don't want to say I said so, but I did predict. In fact, I'm just going to check the particular dates and events, because I remember since the year dot I've been saying, hello, wake up, isn't this obvious? How can you have a crime without a victim? And I'll be damned if you get to decide with your corporations and your pharmaceutical lobbyists and evidence what harm is and is not. I mean, that is a violence. It is a macabre assault on my private right and sovereignty over my body. When the first Homo sapiens metaphorically stepped out of the jungle and confronted the plains and started presumably at that sort of stage in the epoch becoming civilized and interacting with people and learning to cultivate and be part of community, he had what he still has today, sovereignty over his body. Any state intervention is a violence. It is a violence, and we should see it as such. And the sooner we wake up and see that this is the thin end of fascist control, the thinking. We're not talking about a conspiracy theory. We're talking about the mechanism, the basic inherent potential and nature which it defines, which this potential defines in man. What happens? What do people do socially? And my simple message, I think Joe Rogan put it very well: leave people the fuck alone. Haven't you got enough problems? You know, for fuck's sake, this nonsense needs to come to an end, because prohibition is the thin end of the wedge. You know what the thick end of the wedge is? It's terrorism. The bullshit that we get fed to control our privacy, our minds, our fears, the messages we believe. We live on an awful, awesome planet. Awful in places and awesome in places. Well, we want the awesome for our children. And we don't see why we should bow to those who have nothing to offer but their power. So yeah, wake up. There's a lot more to talk about. We live in a fascinating world, in awesome time. Intriguing, because this internet, think about it, this internet thing allows me to do this. It allows other people to express their feelings, and whether I'm right or wrong, or I'm a deluded old fart, is beside the point. I get to say it. You get to listen, condemn, criticize, or identify what you see as well, and share this. And so, the concept of a global consciousness to the extent that such a thing can ever exist, dovetails with this fundamental change on the earth amongst mankind. So, take heart, my brothers and sisters, moms and dads around the world. We're all living this moment together in all our languages and all our cultures. Let's grasp this moment. We are living at a time of great opportunity, not just great challenges, great opportunity. We've got to forget about all these naysayers. We've got to show the waysayers. And you can see the way. It's pretty obvious. No matter what your religion or creed, it's pretty obvious where we have to go. And it really boils down to ideas about what the future holds. And the idea that the meek will inherit the earth. If we're to step back from all this subject to immaturity, to coin a new word, is that we share this moment with eternity. This moment when mankind faces the challenge, as we obviously do, of emerging as coherent type 1 species that will inevitably win this earth. So take heart, all you meek and gentle folk out there, all you folk with love in your hearts. We are not alone, we are together, we are vast. We are every mother and father on the earth. We're every child with a hope and a dream. So I salute Africa, my adopted home, with a heart of Ubuntu that wasn't written in books, but comes from the core of our being as a species. And you ask me why I didn't smoke this more often? I should smoke it more often. You think this all comes out of this? No, this is nothing. This is nothing. It doesn't matter. It's not what it's about. Perhaps if we get back to the cannabis issue, perhaps one of the biggest problems with cannabis is it's a mildly hallucinogenic. Now what does that hallucinogenic mean? Just change his thoughts. You can change them to bullshit. It's not a problem. But it's not the bullshit that is the cause of the fear. It's the truth that must be hidden. So, what is truth? It's in each one of us. That's it. We come from the dust, we go back to the dust. And in the meantime, wow, let's enjoy this moment in humility and in love. For our children and our children's children 1,000 years from now, they will remember this moment when we stood together as a species and said, you know what, we're not going to allow you to do this to us. We've seen you do this year in and year out, war in and war out through the centuries. You may be generic, you may not have a name on you, but you're not going to destroy us without a fight. Because actually, all we have to do to succeed on the earth is to fail to take defeat from the jaws of victory. Because let's face it, the earth is so full of abundance, it's absolutely astonishing that all these blessings aren't afforded. There are many ways we can solve all these problems that these people want to use as a means of control. Obviously, we need to learn to live in symbiosis with the earth. There are a lot more skills that afoot. This idea of using coercion to cure the earth. What foolishness is that? What foolishness is that? You can't coerce. What God has created, God creates a way for. I believe that. And I don't even know about him. I'm just learning to know what I can understand. As honestly as I can, like everybody else. They don't come and talk to me about God. This God that you don't believe in is a false God that you created. I don't know that God. It's foreign to me. The only one I know is the one that created us. Oh yeah, it's a fiction, is it? Oh yeah. So you've defined what God is. this God that you don't believe in. And I'm the arrogant one. I laugh at your folly. Things are what they are. God did what he did, and what he didn't do, he didn't do. But we do know there are forces for life, and there are forces for death. We can see them. Some are alien, and some are friendly. And some alien ones are friendly. But we know, and that's what Ubuntu acknowledged, the idea that there's so much good in all of us that none can be dismissed as of no account in this great, awesome unfolding. Are we the sheep? Are we the cannon fodder? I don't know. I don't care, but I know what I choose. And I think that's what we all choose. I forgot to mention the rambling bit. But yeah, thanks for sharing this moment. And have a comment if you have one. I'm going to find this button because there's this wireless mouse which goes to sleep in this right eye that can't see too much. But hey, it's great to have 1.5.